Thanks, Sheldon. Yeah, so I don't want to. It's starting off the first session talking about this unwanted, uninvited guest actually is not a very good idea. But I must say that this guest is still a mild one, and there are good things and bad things about this guest, which is something that we will try to clarify in this session. But before I go ahead and tell you about the Omicron thing, I tell you that a lot of people who are thinking about seniors and we have a association of doctors called the Indian Medical Association, IMA. You might have heard of that. Now the IMA Goa State branch is now headed by Dr. Rufino Montero. Most of you in Goa would probably know him. Dr. Rufino Montero is the president of the state branch of the Indian Medical Association, and his focus this year is on care of the old with the heart of gold. And next Sunday, he has invited me to make a small lecture on how can we actually take care of the old with a heart of gold. So what does it mean to take care of the old? Who are the elderly that we need to take care of? And how do we take care of them with the heart of gold? So the reason why I'm telling you this is because I want you to be part of that. I want you to be an IMA champion in that sense. So there's no point of me trying to tell them what they need to do and what I think they need to do. I would want you to tell me what you think the Indian Medical Association, this is an association of doctors in private practice, doctors in hospitals, doctors in private hospitals, doctors at the medical college, doctors at the in primary health centers, doctors of all kinds of specialities. So they're all together, ophthalmologists, ENT doctors, everyone put together forms the IMA. We have various chapters all around Goa. We want to really activate this and make sure that we reach out to people. And this time we want to reach out to older people. We want to reach out to the old with a heart of gold. So I want you to think about it. I want you to send me a small note in the next 2 days, your name, where you are from, so I know who has sent that note, age if possible, and just a small answer to the question. I will send this to you on the group, so don't worry about that. How can the Indian Medical Association help reach out to seniors, and which seniors you think should be a priority? So if there's anything special that you would want doctors of Indian Medical Association to do for seniors, how they can reach out to them, where they can reach, which seniors need priority, is it the, what age group? Because it's not possible for them to probably reach out to everybody. That is really not going to be, they have to prioritize. So who should they prioritize? What kind of help that seniors require? And, sometimes maybe you have dealt with older people, or you have a problem yourself and you found it very frustrating because you couldn't get help for it. So what is the kind of problem that you find very frustrating? So who are the type of people who are in definite need of this kind of help? I don't want to suggest kind of answers because I want it to come from you. And I will put your answers together and make the presentation on Sunday. So it will be something that you are the champion, you are asking. It will be a program decided by you for you, so and don't think of yourself only, think of all different kinds of people from the lower socioeconomic strata to the higher socioeconomic strata, people who are illiterate and people who are literate, people who are having some kind of disability or not, people who are active maybe or not active. Let's see how we can reach out to them. So having said that, don't forget to do this. This is I need this information from you. You can just message me. You have my number on the group, so you can message me. Just not too long, probably just 50 words type of a thing. So on how we can make the change. Okay, so and I promise to put it up to them and get them to do things that you want them to do. So coming to this Omicron, and really this is another wave that has come up. When the first wave came, we thought it was bad. The second wave came, it was a tsunami. It was like it just went up through the sky. The third wave has come and spreading very fast. This is the Omicron wave, and you know I have been associated with these outbreaks in the past. Like I was on the core committee for SARS. SARS was the cousin of the coronavirus. You heard about SARS? Anybody knows what it stands for? SARS. SARS. Have you heard of it? SARS. This virus is called SARS-CoV-2. It's because there was SARS-CoV-1. What does that SARS stand for? Severe acute respiratory syndrome.
Severe respiratory syndrome.
Acute respiratory syndrome.
Respiratory syndrome.
Very good, very good. Excellent, excellent. So that's what it is. You know where the first case of SARS in India had taken place? Where did we get the first case of SARS in India? Which part of India? Which state? Kerala. Anybody? Any other takers?
Kerala.
Kerala is one. Okay. Any other takers?
Mangalore.
Any other state? Anybody? Mangalore. Okay. Anyone else?
Mumbai.
Any other guesses? Sorry?
Mumbai. I'm just guessing anything now.
Mumbai. Yeah, some people are guessing anything. Okay, so here's the news. Here's the news that may shock you. The first case of SARS that took place in India was Goa. Who said that? Who's that prize winner?
Felicity.
Ah, you always give the right answers. Yes. So very much. It was in Goa. And, it was, everybody was taken aback and really, they didn't think it could happen. We knew the outbreak was taking place in other countries. And there was always a potential that it could end up coming here. But it came to Goa, and then everyone then was running around trying to figure out how to handle the outbreak. But fortunately, we managed to do a good job, and that was the only case that we got. And SARS died a natural death. That virus, it did kill a lot of people, but it was in thousands. It's not as much as the case that we have seen now with the corona SARS-CoV-2 that spread much. The pandemic was much bigger. But it died a natural death. So that is the kind of hope that we have, So I want you to start with learning a few terms that we use commonly. We use a term sometimes called epidemic. We use the term pandemic, and we use the word endemic. Do you know what that is? Epidemic, pandemic, endemic. Anybody, any takers?
Endemic.
What you did?
Epidemic spreads. Epidemic is when many people suffer from the same disease at the same time. Spreads out.
Okay, epidemic is when where a lot of people have the same disease at the same time. And how is it different from a pandemic then?
A pandemic is a global, I suppose, on a global scale.
Yeah, I don't know who's speaking, so just introduce. I'm so and so, and then speak.
Okay,
so even everyone knows, we tend to get familiar with. Yeah.
Barbara.
Yes, Barbara. Yes, Barbara.
So I think the pandemic is on a wider scale, where the
So Barbara is right. Pandemic is on a global scale. Many countries, many continents have to be involved. If that happens, then it's a pandemic. As opposed to that, an epidemic is more localized.
Yeah.
It's more localized. An epidemic is more localized. What is endemic?
And the endemic is when it's to a particular region, keeps on happening in a particular region.
Yeah, but that is something different from even an epidemic is happening in a particular region.
No, it's a...
An epidemic is also happening in a particular region. What
is it? It's reaching its end, so it's called endemic.
No, it can't
Very
be.
creative. I like that, Sheldon. Trust you.
Certain communities, would it be in communities?
Certain communities. Okay.
It
So you can see this picture now. Can you
Yeah.
see this picture? So you have a pandemic, which you are right. You can see the one right on the right, which is a pandemic. So when it occurs, the yellow dots are where the diseases are, the outbreak is kind of taking place. So if it is globally there, if it is there in many continents, many countries, pandemic, that is clear. Everyone has understood. What we have now is a pandemic of COVID-19. Epidemic was how it started off. It starts as a small, there's another term called outbreak. If it's very small, it's called an outbreak. You just have an outbreak of gastroenteritis. People went for a wedding, ate something, mayonnaise or whatever. Next day, everyone got some diarrhea. Outbreak of gastroenteritis. Okay, that's an outbreak. It's not an epidemic. When it goes a little bigger in that region, it's called epidemic. So it was an epidemic. That outbreak from Wuhan became bigger, started spreading to other people in China, became an epidemic. The reason I'm telling you these terms is because this is kind of the natural progression of this disease. It started off as an epidemic, it became a pandemic, and now we are hoping that it will become what we call an endemic disease. Okay, SARS, the earlier one, was eradicated. It died a natural death. But this one, the way it has actually adapted to all of us and constantly adapting itself, this is a smart virus. Okay, it's adapting itself. It has adjusted to all humans. And so it's going to stay with us. This is the general consensus of all the experts. So we're going to have this. It's going to occur like just the other diseases